Mpumelelo, I've actually got a family member that gave a heartfelt send-off, even going as far as singing their favorite song of Ugogo, what it meant to her and what this family is going through. Just giving a narrative in terms of how they have been heartbroken about what has taken place, what this was such circumstances that they had to deal with and sort of move on with their lives. 3 members of the family, it hasn't been easy for them. So I want to bring her in to give me her recollection of who these people were to her specifically. Sisukhulume kahle ubavalelisa abantu basekhaya. Ungasichazela nje ukuthi bebe ngobani?
Okay, abantu abasekhaya laba bashonile, umzala, umama lo shonile ohloniphile Xaba, no umntwana wakhe Nqobile, naye uthi mamncane kimi. Nomntwana wakhe ushonile ona 1 year, umntwana entombazane omncane. Sibhlunga kakhulu ngalento le enzakene, kodwa kena yenzakele bahambile sibabonile, kukhona nabanye abaphephile. Abantwana abawu2 abaphephile, and umama omunye naye bekavakashile, avakashele yena umama endlini lo ehlakalelo isigameko shonile. So usesibhedlela kodwa sizwile ukuthi bathi uyalulama. So siyabonga kakhulu isupport yenu, siyabonga kakhulu umphakathi, sibonge wonke umuntu. Sibhlunga kakhulu.
We know ukuthi ngalesikhathi nabantu abazilile, but nje mangasikhumbuza ukuthi bebe ngobani kuwena, ukhumbulani ngayo.
Okay, umama oshonile njengoba ngisho bengithi anti kuye kodwa umzala wami.
Sengisho ukuthi yini oyikhumbulayo nje ngaye uyohlezi uyikhumbula.
Oh, okay. Into engizohlezi ngikhumbula ngomama lo shonile beka umuntu noma sendlula enkingeni bekakuhlalisa phansi umukhala kubuza athi ukhalelani ubunzima buyafika phinde bundlule futhi into bekajwayela ukuthi ayisho kakhulu kimi athi into esimele sihlale kuyo umkhuleko thembela kuNkulunkulu unganaki nabantu ukuthi bathini wena hlala phansi uthandaza uNkulunkulu bekumuntu othi nabantwana bethu uyabaxoxa bonke ngisho noma ngathi awufuni ngabo abekathanda umculo ke abaculisa abantwana abakhuthaza ngesonto abathatha every Sunday abantwana bethu bebeza kuye baye esontweni bekumuntu othanda abantu nabantu bomphakathi bebaza kuye bafike badle benzeni bekathanda abantu ngempela nebengeke uzusho next ngabantu kuye because of bekumuntu ukuthi wonke umuntu onenkinga ukhalela kuye baka nomoya phansi futhi ayilungise nje kahle inkinga lokahleka futhi.
For speaking to us, just Nqobile details from the family in terms of how they're going to remember the late granny. So I want to bring in now MMC in the city of Johannesburg, Councillor Arnold, to speak to us about what has happened today. And we know it's not easy to come to such events, but you have to speak to the family and you have to be strong for them. Take us through what you said today.
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon, is it still afternoon to your viewers? I want to say that once again condolences to the Xaba family, and I think we should take a leaf out of what has happened, that we need to educate our communities when they put up shacks, but communities should also understand when we evict them, it's not because we do not have empathy or we are not compassionate. We are removing them from the areas because for their own there's a risk over there. And I think as government, as I said, as government, and if you can remember in my speech when I spoke as MMC of Finance, I said we definitely need public and private partnerships. And that is the only way that we'll be able to go. Government can't do it alone. Private can't do it alone. We need to work together. And we've seen with the Colin Mashwana Foundation how good we have worked in ensuring that we do the right thing for the family. And I hope that this will teach us as government, but also communities, that we need to talk, we need to be decisive when we give out stands, but we also need to understand as communities, when we remove you, we are not removing you because we just woke up this morning and said we are removing you. It is a risk to you and yourselves. But I'm happy that we have people that will ensure that we give accommodation to these people. They've committed on the first day. When we destroyed the structure, we also discovered the structure was not put up properly. And that is the problem. Thus we said take away the entire structure. It has not only happened here in other areas, the same thing has happened during the rain on Christmas Day. But once again, condolences to the family, to the community, to the city also. We've lost a family. We've lost someone that was rooted and grounded in God. And I think that is what I also want to take away today. You wouldn't have seen all this if it was not that type of family, I think.
And Speaker, I just want to ask, when you talk about the importance of human settlement, what happens to this family now? Is there something that the city is going to do for them?
Well, the city, together with the Colin Mashawana Foundation, will be working out where to put them. Remember, the land will be either ours or it will belong to the province or to national. We will then decide where they go to. They will then put up a structure that is conducive and that will be not at a risk. And together, it's a partnership here. It's not the city, it's not them. It is us together. We will do that. We are also planning, and I'm not sure whether you were there when we spoke to MMC of housing. We are also planning in removing all of them to another space, and we hope that nobody comes back to the area, so that we are able to move them where they can have long life.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. I can't imagine it was easy for the family to go through what they're going through at this very point. But I want to show you what is taking place behind us, and you'll see that they've already started loading the deceased. And of course, a very heartbreaking moment for the family. But of course, they have to be strong. We have heard from those that have spoken about the kind of conditions that they had to accept these circumstances. And we are hearing that Ugogo was somebody who was quite mighty when it comes to the way she spoke, the way she always inspired people, the way she was a loving person. We also heard about how she always had a relationship with the children that were also in this unfortunate situation or the passing that took place. So this is what now is taking place in front of us. But what we know is that Baroka has come in to assist the family with regards to the burial. We know that Colin Mashawana Foundation has also come in to assist the family, and this is very important because we know that this, of course, was unexpected. It wasn't something that could have been planned for, and the family to have had such a really, really horrible tragedy to deal with it. We have even heard the MMC, or rather the speaker, speaking about how this is a tragedy that not only affects the family but cuts across the community, how it also silent 3 generations. And you can imagine then the impact this has had. The youngest of them all being born in 2024. So this is very heartbreaking for the family. In 2002, this is really heartbreaking for the family, for them to go through what has taken place here. But of course, the community has been supporting them. We know this because we have heard from those that have spoken that the community has continued to support them in such a difficult time, that they have been there for them throughout, and that they've shown the sort of love that the community should. And of course, you can see the numbers of people that have come here, that they are definitely here to support the family and show that respect. But it is indeed difficult for the family. But just to remind you, the 3 that have passed away is Nqobile Xaba, who is born in 22 November 1965. It's Nqobile Xaba, who was born in 2002, and the youngest of them all being Langelihle Xaba, who was born in April 2024. Heartbreaking for this family to lose so many people. One of the family members going as far as just saying, "Rest in peace, my family. You please remember us on the other side." And this is all that they could say as the family members, mainly because of just the heartbreak and the emotions that they have to go through. So that now taking place, as you can see there.
Nqobile, you mentioned there that, the family member that you spoke to earlier mentioned that Umam Hloniphile was a very loving and community loving individual. I understand that at the time of the house collapse, there were 13 people living in the house, although there were only 3 in the house at the time. From Councillor Margaret Arnolds, do you have any indication of where the 10 remaining are being housed currently?
So what we know at the moment is that there's been some supports that has been provided by the city. So they are still looking for the land that they're going to be providing for them to be able to build a house. But Nqobile, just as we continue that conversation, I want to bring Colin Mashawa Foundation to be able to speak to us about the sort of supports that they're going to be providing, because we know that the house has to be built, and you have spoken about the house that you're going to be building for the family. Could you perhaps give us details around that? Have you even found land at this point?
Yeah, so the situation that we are faced with today, it's quite a unique situation. It's a rare situation. As the Colin Mashawana Foundation, we have built over 1,000 houses and donated them to different beneficiaries throughout South Africa. And some of those beneficiaries lose family members. Some of them are quite old and they pass away after receiving the homes. Some pass away before we even complete the homes. In those cases, we deal mostly with one death. It is rare that we find a situation similar to this situation where you find a 1-year-old, 24-year-old, and a 60-year-old all passing away at the same time. So it's quite a difficult situation. We have been here from day one. We have supported the family. We have jointly with the city ensured that the house that collapsed, or what remained of that house, has been now demolished. We committed to ensure that the family gets a dignified send-off, which is what is happening today. We have committed to building them a temporary house and follow that with a permanent home. We are in the process of doing that. So it comforts us to know that all the commitments that have been made by the partners as a collective have all been fulfilled.
And I know that you also are the person that went on to assist the family in making sure that there's actually a funeral that is covered by Baroka. Take us through how you went about in getting that assistance.
The family had reached out to the public, requesting
All right, it seems we have lost connectivity to Nqobile Madlala, who's out in Doornkop. We will be working to re-establish that line.